Virtuoso, one of the best specs to play in open world due to the big amount of utility skills that simplify complex events. But there are other reasons why I chose Virtuoso for my next open world build. One of them being the decent health pool that will save you in situations where you can absorb a few hits. Another reason being that out of all the Mesmer specs, this is the simplest one to play. You do not have to worry about clones and phantasm and how to time them. It's just 5 blades, use blade song, and repeat. Let's look at the gear and stats. The armor is full berserker with runes of the scholar. You can also use runes of the thief if your budget is limited. For weapons, I'm using a greatsword with sigils of force and accuracy. For the secondary set, I'm using a dagger and sword with sigils of force and sigils of accuracy again. And finally, the trinkets are a combination of dragon and berserker. I chose dragon for the extra vitality needed in some situations. But if they're too expensive or hard to find, you can go with berserker all the way. Just an FYI, you will be able to choose dragon and ritualist stats from selectable trinkets in the next update. Let's move on to the build. I went with domination, illusions, and virtuoso. And as you can see in this build, I'm again focusing on DPS instead of defense, as you have distortion if something goes wrong, or blade turn requiem blade song. The utility skills are Signet of Ether for healing and recharging phantasm skills, Phantasmal Disenchanter for DPS and boon removal, Rain of Swords for how good it looks and the AoE DPS, Signet of Inspiration to get higher running speed, but I would recommend switching this when fighting bosses to something else depending on the situations, like Portal, Blink or Illusion of Life, and the elite is 1000 cuts, but it can be switched to something else if needed. And that is pretty much it for the build. Let me show you the damage you can expect with the boons generated by yourself and all conditions applied, as that is usually the case in open world. Also, I'm using hardened sharpening stones and plates of steak and asparagus, since they're cheap but help quite a bit.
Sharp blade, sharp mind.
Now let's switch to an actual meta event so you can get a better idea of how good the spec is.
That was impressive. Another. You're finished.
As you can see, it will not have any problems fighting bosses as long as you avoid the red circles. Now let's take a quick look at the fashion for this character. I am using Glint's Gaze Mask, Tempest Loop, Carapace Vestments, Winged Gloves, Runic Shaman Pants, and Decade's Path. The weapons are Scorpionis for the main set, and Orin's Claw and the Cutting Edge for the second set. I hope you'll enjoy the build. If you want to see more content like this, please let me know in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed the video, please click the like and subscribe buttons.